Hi, my name is Avalon, and I'm glad you guys could help make it here today. Today, my TED Talk is about ADHD. So ADHD, as you all know, stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. But is it a disorder or a different way about thinking about things? Either way, people with ADHD still have to find ways to thrive in our society. Before we get into different strategies to deal with this condition, I want to help you understand its symptoms a little better. People get frustrated when symptoms arise. Heck, even dealing with yourself can be exhausting. One of those symptoms is tone. We don't think we have a bad tone. We say we have a bad tone, and that makes us pretty mad, so we get a really bad tone. And this can create conflicts in relationships. And according to Jeff Cooper, an ADHD coach who has professional designations from the International Coaches Federation, says it can be really hard understanding what's going through our ADHD minds because there's a difference between what you're seeing and what's actually taking place in our perspective. Mr. Cooper also explains that it happens a lot with couples when one or both are ADHD. They get distracted a lot and they don't follow up on things. In a couple, the non-ADHDer doesn't always recognize these as symptoms. They may interpret the distractibility and other symptoms as loss of interest. And the non-ADHDer may ask, do you still love me? And in the confusion, ADHD is just like, yeah, I still love you. What are you talking about? Duh. But distractibility is chronic for people with ADHD. And Attitude magazine says that symptoms include forgetting to complete tasks, inability to keep track of personal items like keys and cell phones. We're often late on deadlines and showing up on time. We're unable to multitask. We have trouble following conversations and losing our train of thought. We have difficulty remembering steps in a multi-step process, and we have a hard problem with breaking down big projects into smaller steps. But medication fixes everything, right? Well, not quite. Some cause more problems while fixing the ADHD. But some of these medicines include Adderall, Concerta, Methylene, Ritalin, and Vyvanse. And not only do they sound complicated, their side effects can be just as frustrating. WebMD stated that side effects may include nausea, loss of appetite, headaches, dry mouth, dizzy spells, mood swings, and trouble sleeping. But they can also bring out underlying tics. The tics are not caused by the medication, but if you had them when you were younger, it can bring them back again. But can I just say this? It's kind of scary knowing that the med that you're about to put down your gullet is going to affect how you act, communicate, and deal with yourself, and it's unknown until it takes effect. And another note on side effects, I was on an ADHD stimulant for about 3 to 3.5 years, and as much as it helped my focusing ability and ADHD symptoms, it destroyed my appetite. I'm pretty sure I dropped to 97 pounds, but it took me 3 to 4 years to actually gain my weight back to a healthy weight. But I struggled in school. I mean, the struggle was real. I had arguments about every day, and there were 2 main arguments: not being able to eat and homework. Finally, I told myself that I had to fix this because I'm not getting anywhere on my current med and weight. So I stopped the stimulant medication and began a non-stimulant. Now, there wasn't a problem with this new medication. I was eating fine, but that was it. I felt as ADHD as ever, and I didn't feel any different, but I didn't feel any better. Then they upped the dose. This was the biggest difference, and now I feel functional and arguments are too minimal. Nightly arguments over homework were going away, and I was actually okay with homework, but that wasn't without help from outside the medicine cabinet. But Nicki Minaj says, music makes me high. For me, not high, but it can give you the calming effect and focusing ability. So homework is a breeze when listening to music. So if you have a child currently in school or in school yourself, pop in some earbuds or headphones and listen to music. I found that listening to music while doing an assignment in the classroom and listening to the same playlist and same song while doing the assignment somewhere else will actually help your brain remember the things associated with that song or playlist. Hence the assignment you learned in class. I personally seek the bass, and the more bass the better, but I also like opera. Completely different, but completely necessary for my homework survival kit. Headphones, YouTube, check. Medical cannabis could also be a helpful option for some people. It's currently thought that smoking marijuana below the age of 20 may affect the development of your brain, so therefore it's not recommended for anyone under 20. ADHD adults could use cannabis to regulate their behaviors and constant distractions, and new studies from California have emerged showing that marijuana helps patients deal with their ADHD without all the horrible side effects from pharma drugs, such as headaches and sickness. THC increases dopamine concentrations and activates dopamine neurons. In its raw form, cannabis can provide the mental slowdown, allowing people who have ADHD to focus and better concentrate more easily. This is done by balancing the dopamine in the brain. Cannabis is also thought to help treat side effects of ADHD stimulants. For example, reduce the stress associated with the condition, reduce nausea, stimulate your appetite, and improve your sleep. Some doctors actually prescribe a combination of cannabis and stimulants. The traditional pharmaceuticals can assist with the ADHD, while the cannabis can assist with the side effects of the drugs. It's best to smoke a balanced amount of marijuana and not overdo your consumption. Overconsuming any strain of marijuana while dealing with a mental condition can cause any symptoms to become worse or possibly increase paranoia and anxiety. It's vital to follow your doctor's instructions and know your limits with cannabis, but also not to use it as a crutch. It's good to have a healthy balance and preferably use it when symptoms are at their worst. Also, people already use medical cannabis for things like AIDS, HIV, Alzheimer's, anxiety, stress, asthma, cancer, epilepsy, neurological disorders, Parkinson's disease, PMS, PTSD, and Tourette's syndrome. But the attitude that people consuming marijuana are druggies that just want to get high needs to end. Frankly, that pisses me off more than people blaming me for my ADHD and lack of behaviors thereof. But how many of you guys like food? I'm sure a lot of you. Yeah, me too. And what we put into our bodies on a daily basis is important, but especially if you have ADHD. Diet is crucial. Our society hurts us on a daily basis, making flashy brands of food with lots and lots of colors that are appealing to our eyes. And have you ever been grocery shopping with someone that has ADHD? We want everything. But what should we be putting in our carts? And a new study conducted at Göteborg University in Sweden said that high protein and omega-3s are believed to be important in the brain and nerve cell function. Concluded that a daily dose of omega-3 found in cold water fatty fish such as sardines, tuna, and salmon reduced ADHD symptoms by 50%. And Dr. Sven Olsen followed a group of ADHD children aged 8 through 18 who took fish oil daily. Within 6 months, there was a noticeable decrease in ADHD symptoms in 25% of the children. Being hyperactive is exhausting, so putting high amounts of protein can actually help your body keep up with the constant need to move. What about high sugar foods and snacks with added dyes? They are the worst for your brain. Several studies conducted at Yale University suggest that some kids who have ADHD are turned on by copious amounts of sugar. This concluded the more sugar hyperactive children consumed, the more destructive and restless they became. Also, high sugar diets increased inattention in some kids. Also, their studies indicate that certain food colors and preservatives may increase hyperactive behavior in some children. But the Food and Drug Administration Food Advisory Committee determined that studies to date have not proved there's a link between food colorings and hyperactivity. But countries differ on which food color additives they'll allow in food and drinks and how they're labeled. For example, the European Union. They require that all food containing certain food color additives include a statement on the label that this color may have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. But the FDA only requires that FDA-certified color additives be listed on the food label. The best approach for overall health and nutrition is a diet that limits sugary and processed foods, especially with dyes, and is rich in fruits, vegetables, grains, and healthy fats such as omega-3s, found in certain types of fish, flaxseed, and other foods. But another challenge is waking up in the morning. And we all hate getting up in the morning. But with ADHD, it's 3 times as hard. solution I've come up with should help anyone who has this trouble. You can solve this constant struggle of getting up in the morning by putting a big crunchy carrot or any other crispy food next to your bed the night before. And by putting a big, and when you wake up, you eat it. The crunchy sounds are loud and will act as an internal alarm clock and also getting something in your stomach to get you moving. A study published by the American Psychiatric Association says that dopamine levels in the brain have to be within a very narrow margin in order for a person to be able to focus on their work. But ADHD, dopamine levels are too low. So caffeine can increase dopamine levels. For the neurotypical brain, adding stimulants will push dopamine levels too high, causing agitation and anxiety. But for people with ADHD, adding stimulants can get the levels just right. And a few cups of coffee throughout the day can actually make a real difference. This study found that caffeine can boost concentration for people with ADHD. Since the stimulant, it mimics some of the effects of stronger stimulants used to treat ADHD, such as amphetamine medications. But I've been talking about so many challenges that ADHDers have to strategize to overcome, but I also want to highlight the many perks about how our brains work. But let me tell you, it's awesome. We have a keen attention to details and the ability to hyper-focus on things that we love. And my passions, they're art, fashion, and anatomy. Although I can't sit still for very long with something like homework or a lecture, I can sit for hours and draw. With a lot of leg bouncing to the beat of bass-boosted playlists and opera, the longest I've ever spent on a drawing was 14 hours of sitting a day for a week until I was done. That's one of them that I did. I got several. I also have a keen eye for details, and when I wear clothes, I'm able to smush together styles and clothes that people never dreamed of wearing together. So don't get into the latest trends. Make the trends for yourself and be original. That's also why my biggest dream is to become a model. I've done some modeling as well, and it's hard to sit still during a photo shoot, but I love it so much that I do it anyway. But anatomy is a big one. I will watch cadaver dissections, surgeries, and animal dissections, the craziest things that happen in the ER type of stuff. The complexity of the body is a beautiful thing, because everything is in its own little nook and cranny beneath the skin. And becoming a trauma surgeon is also one of my goals in life, because they know how to make a mangled mess and reverse it into a functional, and make it function to the best of its ability once again. But I don't want to dream about it, because the goal is a dream with a deadline. But my love for art, fashion, and music, and anatomy is an understatement. And when you're ADHD, you don't just love your hobbies and passions, you live and breathe them. And when we exhale, it's a sonic boom of creativity of the highest quality. Although being ADHD symptoms can be one of our toughest things to overcome, it can be the most interesting thing about a person. ADHD isn't an excuse, it's an explanation. Thank you.